Everybody rise.
Oh man,
Here comes the judge. Here comes the judge.
I just hate it when the duty judge calls in sick and I have to come in off of the golf course. This is just not right. Just give me a second. Just give me please be seated. We'll be with you in just a second here.
Let's sit. All right. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Whoa. All right, folks, now we all ready?
Judge, can I swear the defendants in?
If we need to swear the defendants in. You have the Bible?
I don't know what I did with it.
Well, I think there's a magazine, travel magazine for Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. That should work.
There's nothing in here.
Well, just swear them in without it.
Okay.
Great.
What?
Get up. You have to swear you in.
Why?
Do you promise?
What?
You have to swear on the Bible. You're going to promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to tell the truth. I think it's going to have to be up to the jury over there if I'm telling the truth or not. Don't you think?
Yes.
Okay.
Tell your story.
I'm going to tell my story, but I'll tell you right now, I'm innocent. I am definitely innocent. And by the way, do I call you Your Honor? Do I call you Judge? What do I call you?
You can call me anything but late for dinner.
Well, ha, ha, ha. I'm going to call you Your Honor. Okay?
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. Well, I just want you to know that I'm innocent. I am totally innocent.
They all
I'll tell you
are.
that right now. I am definitely innocent. I'll tell you what happened. A couple of weeks ago, you know, I love going to flea markets and auctions and antique stores. Well, I happened to go to this antique store one day, okay, and I'm looking around and they had some beautiful antiques, and what I happened to see, what really caught my eye, was this beautiful wooden trunk. You know, the type of trunk that they used to use in the days gone by when they would travel with them and everything. Okay, so I happened to take a peek inside, and I saw some beautiful linens, and I saw some towels. Oh my goodness. So I said to the dealer, the antique dealer, I said, sir, how much do you want for this lovely trunk? And he said, well, I've had it for a while. I've had it for $100 and I've been marking it down. He said, but I'll tell you what, I've had it for so long. I'm going to give you a bargain today. I'm going to sell it to you for $5. I said, $5? Oh my God, that really is a bargain. So, okay, I had to have someone help me carry it to my car. And then when I got it home, one of the neighbors had to help me bring it indoors. And, you know, I sat down, I had a cup of coffee, and I rested a little bit. And then I said, you know what, I'm going to dig into this trunk and see what I have. So, okay, so I open it up and I start taking out the linens. I start taking out the towels. I took out a beautiful tablecloth. All of a sudden, I come across this beautiful pink lacy bra. I found lacy underwear. I found porn films. I couldn't believe it. So I found Playboy magazines. I thought, oh my God.
Would you like to enter these into evidence so that I can review these?
Well, sorry, sir, I don't have them, but I will tell you where they are. Okay, so where am I going with this? Okay, so finally I get to the bottom, and there's like a hidden panel underneath. So I lifted up this panel, and I picked this heavy thing up. It was wrapped in a towel, and I go to unwrap it, and it was a frickin' gun. It was a pistol. Oh my God, I dropped it on the floor. I got so nervous, I got so excited. I called some of my friends. They said, Marie, you know what you better do with that? You better bring it to the cops. So that's what I did. I brought it to the cops, and they said to me, I told them the story, how I got it, and the cop says to me, okay, what is your name? So I said, well, my name is Marie Rosa Conchetta Corleone. He said, Corleone? That name sounds very familiar. I said, well, there's a lot of Corleones in the country, you know. What are you saying? You don't like Italians? No, I'm not saying that, but I'm thinking, you know what this is? This is called a Saturday night special. And the mobs used to use it, and what they would do is they would drive around and, you know, they would shoot people and then they would toss them aside. That's why they were, what? I got to tell the rest of my story. So anyway, supposedly, yeah, it was a Saturday night special. Okay, so now the cops say to me, you know what? I don't believe you. I think this has something to do with you. Your name is Corleone. I think you're part of the mob family. I said, no, I'm not. I'm totally innocent. Well, anyway, listen, we're going to put you on trial. You're going to have to go to court. And they're going to have to decide if you're innocent or guilty. And I'll tell you what, I am innocent, Your Honor, Judge.
Do you expect them to believe that story? Well, only the jury will know. They're going to tell the result at the end.
Judge, you need to stay off your cell phone. Stay off your cell phone. Pay attention to what's going on.
I'm trying to pay attention. Okay, well, we're going to call the next case.
Jan Berry. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Now, why would I do that?
It's the law.
Oh, well, I don't think I want to tell the truth. You want to hear my story, Judge?
You're ordered to tell the truth.
What happens to me if I don't tell the truth?
The jurors will find out, and they will convict you.
Well, you'll have a hard time doing that. It was a Sunday afternoon, and I was going for a leisurely ride down this wonderful highway. And everybody was whizzing past me. Somebody was going 70. Somebody went 95. I got petrified, and I started to shake. Oh, and I thought to myself, where are the cops when you need the cops? I don't see any police officers, and all these people are going so darn fast. And I'm getting more afraid and more afraid. And all of a sudden, I heard, yeah, and I saw some red lights, and I went, oh, thank goodness, there's a police officer, and he's gonna get that person that went just past me at 95 miles an hour. Oh, and I'm still driving leisurely, just drive, and I look in my rear view mirror, and all of a sudden, that police officer isn't going after that 95 person that's going 95, not even after the one that was going 70. He's going after me. I thought, what? I pulled over, and he came over and he said to me, do you know the speed limit? And I said, officer, I'm not too sure what the speed limit is, but I can tell you what it isn't. It isn't 95 and it isn't 70. And he said to me, no, you're right. It isn't 95, nor is it 70. It's 55. I said, oh, that's a good number. I had that one birthday a few years ago. he said to me, well, I have to give you a ticket. A ticket? For what? Because you're going too slow. I was going 25 miles an hour, officer, because I was so scared. I was so scared. They were whizzing on by. How come you didn't go and get that guy that was going 95? You picked up this little old lady that was doing 25 miles an hour? And that's my story.
Likely story. Oh, yes.
You have to stay awake. You keep yawning.
I know, but also
I like your hair, by the way.
Well, thank you, but in my haste to come out here, I forgot to set the whole system up here. Okay.
Sue Lang.
I think we're set now.
Come on, Sue.
Okay. I don't belong here.
Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Of course. I'm a nice Jewish girl from a nice Jewish family, well-bred, knowing right from wrong. What am I doing here? I have an appointment at a salon and a spa as a gift, and
Just the facts,
I
ma'am.
should be
Just
there,
the
not
facts.
here. I don't belong here. Okay, Judge, I'm going to tell you what happened.
We're waiting.
Okay, well, I had this stepdaughter when I was married to my second husband. She didn't like me very much. Of course I'm not your mother, okay? You know, I'm in my 40s at this point, whatever. And I went to visit my sister in Florida, and the next day was her wedding. And I flew home the day before. So I had a nice trip in Florida. Here I am flying home to go to her wedding. Well, JetBlue, screw you, okay? Next to me, well, I'm leaving something out, I forgot. I was reading a book.
Well, what book were you reading?
Oh God, you don't want to know. 50 Shades of Grey. But it was the third one and it just came out.
Well, you do have good taste in literature.
Oh God, everybody was reading it. But the third book, I bought it at the gift shop so I could read it on the plane. So the trip would go fast. But the lady next to me, okay, there's 3 across. My aisle, 3 across. I was in the middle, nice lady to my left, obnoxious, loud, drunk lady to my right, flirting with the guy across the aisle on the end, drunk as a skunk, loud, so obnoxious. I couldn't read my book, and I was so mad. About 15 minutes into the flight, I was getting so frustrated, and the stewardess was watching her. She had her eye on her. I was hoping she'd say something so I wouldn't have to, but I did, and I just very nicely said, "Do you think you can tone it down? I'd really like to read my book." And she said, "I don't know, I'll try." She was really drunk. An officer, I mean judge. I don't drink, I'm Jewish. We don't drink, only at Passover. A little wine, you know. But this lady was so drunk and
I wouldn't know.
so flirty with that guy across the aisle. And I just couldn't, I just gave it up. I gave up the chance to read. And no, he wasn't anything to look at, trust me. And neither was she, no, not even close. So, about half hour, 45 minutes into the flight, I said, screw this, I'm just gonna look at my phone, whatever, do what I can do, and just wait for the plane to land. And it did, and I get through the night, I'm looking, you know, at what I'm gonna wear, and, you know, all that. So the next day, I get dressed, all beautiful for her wedding, and my boyfriend, husband, I don't remember if we were married or not at that point, she didn't like me very much, the stepdaughter. Okay, if I didn't say that, I'm reiterating it. his parents picked me up to go to the church. And we're walking in the church to go to the first row, and I'm walking, and I'm looking, and I see the woman from the plane right there in the third row. And I'm like, oh my God. And out loud I said, oh my God, the woman from the plane. So I'm thinking to myself, I hope she's not close to his daughter. Was she just like a friend of the mother or something not important? No, it turns out they're Greek. She's her kumbara. What is that? It's like godmother. She was an important person in her life. Anyway, at the wedding, she got so drunk again. She was putting everybody down. She was embarrassing everyone. She even fell into the cake. Okay, the beautiful wedding cake with like 5 tiers. She fell into the cake and she was bothering me. Well, what happens? I go up to confront her. I fall on my face from all of the cake mess on the bottom. At this point, the wedding planner had it. She was like, I can't take this anymore. She called the cops and they arrested me. Not her, me.
We'll decide if you're guilty or not at the end of the trial.
I don't drink. I don't flirt. I have a boyfriend.
Next case.
Judge, you have to stay awake. You keep falling asleep.
I think I'm awake at the appropriate times to slam the hammer.
Next defendant, Steve Maris.
Go get him, kid. Yeah.
Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Well, that's no fun.
Do your best.
Hi there, Your Honor. Nice perm.
Well, thank you.
Well, Judge, my story actually is not about anything that happened to me. It happened to a friend of mine, a lady friend of mine. One day last year, she went out to her favorite McDonald's for some sustenance, you know. And on the way back, she had to drive down a highway and then make a turn so she can get closer to her house. Well, the thing is, she noticed that a police car was following her all the way from the McDonald's. And when she made the turn, he pulled her over. So, this is unusual for her. She's always prides herself on being a very careful driver. So he pulled her over, and he came up to her, and he told her, "You failed to yield." Wake up. So anyway, she explained this never happened to her, and this is the first time, and his remark was, "Well, now it's your turn." So anyway, she got upset, she cried, whatever, but he gave her a ticket. So she had to appear at the court. And so she goes, and she says that someone from, some prosecutor was talking with her before she went to see any judge. And they told her, "You better plead guilty because you won't have any points, and the jury would normally side with the police officer anyway, so you might as well plead guilty." And they went over with her, the minimum amount of a fine would be like $62 for this offense. So my friend reluctantly agreed, and she pled guilty. Then they went to present this to the judge. The judge sees her and says to her, "I'm going to charge you $140 because you look like you could afford it. Now you could put it on your credit card." Now I ask you, Your Honor, is that fair to charge someone more just because of the way they look?
Now, is this an appeal? Sounds like this case is already done.
No, if she were to appeal it, there would have been an extra $100 that she would have had to pay for an appeal.
It doesn't sound very appealing, does it?
She paid the $140. She paid the $140, yes.
Sounds like she got away pretty good, but we'll let the jury out here decide whether the appeal is accepted or not. Next case.
Okay.
Who?
Peter.
Peter?
Wake up, Peter.
Oh, you're making a mistake giving me a microphone. I want to tell you.
Come on.
Peter Shaw.
Shall, but I don't
Oh,
care.
shall, okay. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Certainly. Your Honor, how are you?
No, we can't be.
Uranus,
we
how
can't
are
be.
you?
We can't be friendly in here in the court. You know.
All right.
I think this is pointing the wrong way.
Don't eat yellow snow. Don't drink downstream from a dog. Okay. Tips. All right. So anyway, this was about 20 years ago. There's no guilty or innocent. It's just what happened to me. 20 years ago, I was on the D train coming up from Coney Island. I was going up to the big ball yard in the South Bronx. So around West 4th Street, guy gets on the train. He's dressed with a cowboy hat. He's got big mutton chops. He's got a guitar case. He looked like a musician. Now, if you ever traveled any of the New York subway trains, the kids come on and they got the boom boxes. They're going ba-boom, 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 and they're dancing on the floor and they're climbing up the poles and they're hanging from the straps. So anyway, we get up to 59th Street, Columbus Circle, and all are gone. So this guy's sitting there, and I said, you know, you got the guitar case there. Why don't you play something? All right. Opens up the guitar case, pulls out an acoustic guitar, and he's got one of those, what do you call it, the mouth organ, a harmonica. And he straps it on. And I said, oh, this ought to be good. And I noticed he's got in the guitar case, he's got money in there, so he's been playing around and, you know, he's been entertaining. So we go up, we ride the express train. It runs for about 15 minutes, and he plays a song. And he's playing away, and he's blowing on a harmonica. I said, boy, this guy's really good. So we get up to Yankee Stadium, 161st Street, River Avenue, Yankee Stadium. And I said to the guy, I said, you're really good at this. Who do you think you are, Neil Young? He goes, yeah, I am Neil Young. Well, get the hell out of here. No, I am Neil Young. I said, what are you doing with the money on the floor? He says, I'm in the union. I got to get paid. I'm done, Your Honor, that's it. And if I'm lying, I'm dying.
Next case.
Judge, this is a hot one. Wait till you listen to this one.
I can hardly wait.
I am really hot.
I have to swear you in first.
Really?
Yes.
Why do I have to do that? You don't believe me?
No, I don't believe you. The judge has to believe
Judge,
you.
you're pretty hot. You don't believe me?
Well, we'll have to see where this goes.
Christina Basile, do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Maybe.
Try hard.
I'll try real hard to tell the truth. All right. So, I was working my beat. You know, I'm a professional girl. And I don't make enough money as a teacher, so I had to get a second job. You know what I'm saying? I teach the special kids by day, and I do special things by night. Judge.
What are those special things?
Well, do I gotta go into it? Like, you know, like I'm a lady of the night, okay? This is one of my finer outfits. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm
like
walking
her
down the street,
She's got a certain pizzazz.
Yes, she sure does.
and I'm just walking down the street, and I flirt with one guy, and he goes, ah, you're ugly. I'm like, you know what. I flipped him the bird, okay? Then I finally got someone. We went in the car, we did a quickie. I made a hunch, put it in my pocket. Then I see some guy laying on the floor. I'm like, hey, you want a quickie? Might wake you up. And he looks at me and he goes, hey, pigeon toes, you got a buck? And I'm like, hey, bad word, why don't you get a job? And then I kicked him where it really hurt. And it really hurt. And then someone saw me and they started dragging me off, and then I started screaming, and then the guy said, I'm gonna call the cops.
you kicked me. And I said, oh, does it hurt? And then we got in a big fight. Then I fought with some and then some guy, he tried to mug the $100 that I got. I made $100, and then he's trying to mug me. I was like, well, F you too, and I'm running away, and he's got my purse, and then I start kicking him. Then I kicked the guy because he called me pigeon toes again, and I kicked him right where it hurt. And then the cops, they came and they took me away. Now, was that my fault that I got mugged and they took my $100 that I worked really hard for doing that quickie? I mean, come on. Is that fair? Is that fair, Judge?
I'm not sure if it's fair. I'm not sure if I believe you, but I want to see you in the judge's chambers during the lunch hour.
Oh, come on, honey. Let's go. I might give you a freebie. Maybe you too can get a freebie.
He doesn't have chambers.
All right then, let's go, honey.
Is that it? Is that your story and you're sticking to it?
That is my story. I kicked the guy in the you-know-whats, and then some started attacking me. Then some guy mugged my $100, and I get in trouble.
There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is now time to render your decisions in this case. Which stories are true and which are false? So write down on your pieces of paper. Hopefully you've been writing them down as we go along. And now we're going to poll the jury just to see where we stand. So in the case of Ms. Marie, what is the verdict? Is her story true? If so, raise your hand. And if her story is false, raise your hand. All right, everybody says that the story, most people say the story is false and the story is true. Okay. In the case of Ms. Jan, what does the jury say? For those who say true, raise your hand. And those who say false, raise your hand. Well, it almost looks like a tie. It's a dead heat, but his story was false. Okay. Miss Susan, the wedding caper. How many people say that the story is true? How many say it's false? The story is truly false. Mr. Steve. Mr. Steve has a story that he told about a friend or acquaintance of his. It's appealing a prior decision. How many say the story is true? Okay, and how many say the story is false? Well, it looks like the jury says that it is false. However, it is true. And now we come to Mr. Peter, and he's petered out. So how many say that that story is true? And how many say it's false? Well, another dead heat it looks like, but the story is true. And last but not least, we have Miss Christina. We have Miss Christina, and let's get this over quickly because I've got to get to chambers. Who thinks that Miss Christina's story is true? And who thinks that it's false? All right, I think we do have a unanimous decision almost between the actual story and those who say that it is false. And that is the end of the hearing for today. Oh, what did I tell you? Yeah, it was false. It was false. And now a lot of these stories had elements of truthness and falseness, but the essence was either true or false. And with that, court is adjourned. We will now move on to the 50-50. Let's go shoot a couple rounds. Oh, I thought we were going that way. Oh, your chambers, I see.